All right, so we're diving into like one of the biggest crypto stories this year.
Oh,
Bybit, major crypto exchange,
huge.
got hit with a hack. Over $1.4 billion worth of ETH, poof, gone from their cold wallet.
Yeah.
And safe.
Mm-hmm.
The company behind their super secure multi-sig wallet,
Right.
they're scrambling. They're trying to figure out what went wrong.
Yeah, what's really concerning here is that this wasn't just, some smash and grab job. This was
No.
sophisticated.
So-
This was targeted, one of the most secure setups in crypto.
Yeah. Okay, so before we get into the nitty-gritty, can you remind us what makes a multi-sig cold wallet so secure in the first place?
Yeah, so you gotta think of a cold wallet like a vault,
Okay.
buried underground. It's offline,
Yeah.
disconnected from the internet.
Unhackable, right?
Right, and then you add the multi-sig part. It's like having multiple locks on that vault,
Okay.
each requiring a different key held by a different person.
Got it.
So to open it up, you need multiple people to agree
Yeah.
to sign off on any transaction.
Okay, so in theory, that makes it pretty much impossible for one bad actor to just waltz in and clean the place out.
Exactly, designed to prevent this kind of theft.
So this is why this Bybit situation has everyone on edge.
Yeah, this is a big one.
So how did the hackers manage to pull this off?
Well, reports suggest they used something called a masked URL trick.
Oh.
It's a sneaky way to deceive the people who hold those keys, to the multi-sig wallet.
Wait, so they tricked them into giving up their keys?
Not giving up the keys themselves.
Okay.
But think of it this way. They created a fake website
Right?
that looked exactly like the real safe interface.
No.
They sent this masked URL to the signers who unknowingly entered their credentials on this fake site.
So even though they didn't steal the keys directly, they essentially gained control because the signers were tricked into using the fake website.
Exactly, and once they had access, things went downhill fast.
Oh, boy.
They were able to change the underlying code of the smart contract controlling the wallet. Imagine someone breaking into a bank vault, not to steal the money, but to change the combination lock
Oh, wow.
so that they control it.
That is terrifying, and I bet Safe is freaking out right now.
You bet they've temporarily paused some of their features on the platform while they investigate, even though they claim their systems haven't been directly compromised.
So it's more of a better safe than sorry kind of move.
Exactly. They're basically saying, we need to figure out how this happened and make sure it can't happen again, even if it wasn't our platform that was directly exploited.
Makes sense. And what about Bybit? What are they doing to clean up this mess?
Well, their CEO, Benzu, has come out publicly assuring everyone that Bybit is still solvent. They can cover these losses.
Okay.
They've also decided to keep allowing withdrawals, which is a gutsy move.
Why is that a risky move? Isn't that what people want, access to their money?
It's a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it shows confidence,
Sure.
reassures users. But on the other hand, it could trigger a panic if everyone rushes to withdraw at the same time.
So they're walking a tightrope here, trying to keep everyone calm while figuring out what went wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting? CZ, the CEO of Binance,
Oh, wow.
actually came out in support of Bybit.
Yeah.
He even suggested they consider pausing withdrawals as a security measure, which is pretty surprising coming from the head of the biggest exchange.
So even amidst this chaos,
Yeah.
there's a sense of solidarity in the crypto community.
Absolutely. And CZ's involvement really underscores the interconnectedness of this space. Everyone is watching this situation unfold very closely.
Okay, so we've got a sophisticated hack, a massive loss, and the crypto world holding its breath.
Absolutely.
What happens next?
It's going to be interesting to see.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Definitely.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around this whole thing. Over $1.4 billion gone.
It's just a lot of money.
It's mind-boggling.
It really highlights the importance of security in crypto.
Yeah, and it raises so many questions what could have been done differently?
Mm-hmm.
I keep thinking about those signers
Yeah.
who got tricked by that masked URL.
Right.
I mean, what kind of social engineering tactics were used? Were they threatened? Were they offered bribes? I mean, what would make someone fall for something like that?
Yeah, it's hard to say without knowing the specifics of this case,
Right.
but it highlights a crucial point. Education is key.
Absolutely.
We need to equip people with the tools, the knowledge, to identify these scams and avoid them.
So it's not just about having these, fancy multi-sig wallets and cold storage. It's also about making sure that the people who are using them are savvy enough not to get tricked.
Yeah, absolutely. Think of it like even the strongest lock is useless if you leave the key under the doormat.
Right.
And in this case, the hackers went after the human factor in the security chain.
And that's the scary thing, is that this kind of social engineering can happen to anyone, right? It's not just about like being tech savvy. It's about being aware of the psychological tricks these scammers use.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They prey on emotions,
Yeah.
fear, greed, or even just the desire to be helpful.
Yeah, I mean, so what can people do to like protect themselves?
Wow.
Feels like we're constantly bombarded with new scams and phishing attempts.
You're right. It's a constant battle, but awareness is the first line of defense.
Right.
Always double-check URLs, be wary of unsolicited messages, and never, ever share your private keys with anyone.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And if something feels off,
Yeah.
trust your instincts. Don't be afraid to ask for help or a second opinion.
Okay, so that's on like an individual level. But what about Bybit?
hmm
I mean, what kind of responsibility do they bear for this massive loss?
Well, that's a question a lot of people are asking.
Yeah.
$1.4 billion is a staggering amount even for a major exchange like Bybit. It raises serious questions about their internal security protocols and risk management practices.
I mean, should that much ETH have been vulnerable to a single point of failure?
That's a very valid point, and it's something that Bybit will need to address if they want to regain the trust of their users and the wider crypto community.
Yeah.
They'll need to conduct a thorough investigation, identify any vulnerabilities, and implement robust measures to prevent this from happening again.
And this isn't just about Bybit. This hack has the potential to shake the entire crypto industry.
Absolutely. If a platform as large and seemingly secure as Bybit can be compromised,
Right.
it raises concerns about the vulnerability of other exchanges and services.
So this could have like a ripple effect impacting investor confidence, attracting more scrutiny from regulators.
Precisely. This incident could be a catalyst for stricter regulations, more stringent security audits, and even a push for greater centralization in the crypto space.
Wow, so it's not just about the money lost. It's about the potential long-term impact on the entire ecosystem.
Exactly. The Bybit hack is a stark reminder that security is an ongoing challenge, a constant arms race between those building secure systems and those seeking to exploit them.
So it sounds like the actions of both Safe and Bybit in the coming weeks will be crucial in determining how this unfolds.
Absolutely. Safe's investigation and any subsequent updates to their platform could influence how other multi-sig wallet providers approach security, and Bybit's response, their transparency, their efforts to compensate users, and their steps to enhance security will be closely scrutinized by everyone.
This Bybit hack, it really feels like a pivotal moment for crypto.
Yeah, I agree. It's forcing everyone to look at security and not just the technical stuff.
Right, and we talked about user education, but what about like the tech itself? Are there any security upgrades coming that could prevent this kind of thing in the future?
Well, one area that's getting a lot of attention is formal verification.
Yeah.
It's a way to mathematically prove that the code of a smart contract does what it's supposed to do with no hidden vulnerabilities.
So it's like some kind of superpowered code review.
Yeah, exactly. It can
Yeah.
spot even the tiniest flaws. It's complex, but as these smart contracts handle more and more value, it's becoming more and more important.
Okay, and what about biometrics? Could we see fingerprint or facial recognition added to these multi-sig wallets?
It's a possibility. Biometrics can really help make sure the person accessing the wallet is actually who they claim to be, but there are always trade-offs.
Like what?
Well, for one thing, biometrics rely on storing sensitive data,
Right.
which creates a whole new set of risks.
Okay.
And if someone's biometric data is compromised, it can't be changed like a password can.
That's a good point. Seems like there's no like perfect solution here.
Yeah, there's no silver bullet. Security is an ongoing process. You have to evolve and adapt as attackers develop new methods. The defenses have to keep pace.
This whole situation has got me thinking, will this push people away from multi-sig wallets? They seem a lot less secure than I thought.
Yeah, I mean, it's understandable that people might feel that way, but it's important to remember that multi-sig wallets are still a very powerful tool for security, especially when you combine them with other things like strong passwords, two-factor authentication, and, of course, user education.
So it's less about abandoning multi-sig wallets and more about recognizing that no system is perfect.
Exactly. The Bybit hack is a reminder we need to have a layered approach to security, combine the tech with human vigilance.
And it's also a reminder of how important transparency and communication are.
Absolutely. Safe and Bybit are both under intense scrutiny right now. Their actions in the next few weeks will be critical for the whole industry.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are the key takeaways for our listeners?
Okay, so first, security in crypto, it's an ongoing challenge and it needs a multifaceted approach.
Okay.
Second, user education is critical. We need to give individuals the tools to protect themselves from scams.
Okay.
And third, this event, it could be a catalyst for change in the industry, good and bad, advancements in security, but also potentially stricter regulations.
It's a lot to think about, but staying informed is so important.
Yeah, it really is.
Thanks for breaking this down for us.
My pleasure. Always good to talk about this stuff.
And to our listeners, stay curious, stay vigilant, and keep exploring the world of crypto. We'll be back soon with another deep dive.